Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is January 6th, 2024, and we are here live in the studio, just waiting on a great appearance by our wonderful Felix. He'll be here in just a few minutes. And it's a great weekend for sports. It's a great weekend for all kind of crazy things going on. Cat Williams. I'm just throw that out every now and then. I'm just gonna say Cat Williams. So I know it's not sports related, but that's the biggest thing out there going. Of course, we're gonna talk about the national championship and everything that we got going on with that. And so, of course, let's jump right in. Our topic of the week is college football national championship. So we're gonna start there, and of course, we're gonna. Before we do that, we really kind of get into last week's games. Get off the screen over there. See, that's what happens when you do stuff live. When you producing at the same time you're doing the show. There we go. All right. We got Michigan versus Washington and college football championship game in the hood down in Texas, right around the corner from the best ice cream place I've been to in a long time. The one that Beyonce likes the most, right around the corner from the stadium. Excuse me. We're gonna talk about quickly the Michigan offense and Washington defense, Michigan offense, Washington offense, Michigan defense, and my thoughts on that. And I'm gonna make sure we get Felix in here. But of course, we gotta quickly talk about Felix. There we go. We gotta talk about the man in the purple Vikings this week. How you doing, sir?
I'm all right, man. Happy New Year to you, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Look at it. He looking like a new man. He know he got something coming up for the new year, the new man in the new year, the new you. We're going to get to that. We, of course, we open it up with the topic of the week, college football championship. And we want to go back just a little bit before we get into that and talk about the semifinal games we had. Michigan versus who they play?
Roll Tide, Alabama.
Alabama. When JJ threw that first pick, I said, "Uh-oh, we got he doing it all over again. The nerves and got to him, and then the turnover right after that, he got lucky because he stepped out, and then they scored, but then they weathered the storm." Right. I said, as soon as I saw that, I said, "Oh, Alabama in trouble," because they immediately got one-dimensional. Their defense put them into a one-dimensional offense. The offense was already pretty much one-dimensional anyway. They really cut everything down. The defensively did for Michigan, and I was texting my boys. I say, "This is Michigan's game to lose." Even when it was close, I never felt like Michigan was out of control. Even when Michigan was down in the third and fourth quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter, and when Alabama came back and scored, I just felt like Michigan was still going to win that game somehow. I don't think it was. Sometimes you like the fixes in. It just felt like they were playing well enough that they were going to win that game. What were your thoughts on that?
The turning point for me is when Milroe fumbled.
Yep.
But they were driving to take. They were already up like 3, I think, and they were driving, and I was like, that turnover right there. Even though they did hold Michigan and they ended up missing the field goal, I was like, even though they didn't lose no points and they came away with that drive by holding Michigan, I think that was the turnaround point for me. Because I was like, man, if he does dumb stuff he's been doing it all year, and it finally caught him. And it's like that part right there, you can't do that against a team like that. And that's why I was like, ugh, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, I'm still not. I
agree.
I won't be a Walmart Wolverine.
They went down and they tied things up in the overtime. And they quickly scored in overtime, and then I'm thinking myself, I don't know if Bama got it enough and confidence in terms of go out there and score to try and tie this game up to go into double overtime.
I didn't get that neither, man. Because you won the coin toss. Why would you put your defense right back out there and it just came off the field? That's what I'm like. I was like, Nick couldn't.
Strategically, yes, that's what you want to do because you want to be able to top anything that they do. You want to have the ball last. You want to make that. You want to keep that to yourself. I understood that part of it, but I understand what you're saying too in terms of saying the defense that just came off the field and they were tired. So yeah,
And then I don't know if you as a person I know, he put it up on Facebook like 2 days later. They showed the play, the right tackle pulled. If he would have followed the tackle, he would have went in standing up.
He didn't have a time. They blitzed on him, and the snap was too low. He's too busy looking down to see the ball to be able to follow the tackle. No, it was a receiver that was wide open. He didn't even have to follow that guard. The guard was just helping. It was an RPO. The receiver was wide open in the corner, but he couldn't see him because he didn't have time. By the time the snap's so low, you got to pull it up, look up, then his face. So that was the only option he had at that time.
Man, that play call. Ugh. Uncle Nick.
I'm not against that play call. The execution just wasn't there. Had they executed the way they should have, if they could have tied, barring making the field goal, they could at least tie it back up at 27, and they could have kept playing. But you know what they say? If it was the fifth, we'd all be drunk. Right. And now that Michigan's in the national championship game against Washington, Washington played against Texas. And from the very beginning of that game, I kept saying Texas does not look like Texas. From the Big 12 championship game till that game, some told me that that month off does something to teams like that.
Yeah, because you in a grind, and now you got to hold off for 30 days and then come back. That's where, man, they got to change that too, man.
It's already going to be changed. It's already going to be changed going into the playoffs. They're only going to get 1 week rest because if you're the 1 or 2 team, you're going to get the 1 week rest because you're going to get your bye being the top teams. So that's going to work out for them. So it won't be so much of a wait in between.
Okay.
Oh boy, you ain't clowning on me already. You just went out, man. You just went outside. Leave me alone. But what I was going to say, even with Washington, Texas, that game got kind of close towards the end of the game. But I knew that Washington was going to go ahead and go down and score. Penix was still playing very, very, very well. And he there's no pressure on him. He can just go out and play. It's not like he got that Heisman Trophy pressure on him.
Steve ain't ready for that. Sarkisian ain't ready for that.
Sarkisian, I agree. It's a process. Right. He'll be in the SEC next year, and which is going to be a good place for him. He has a good enough team to be there. He can still make the playoffs at least every year, every third year with the team with the recruits that he has. Arch Manning going to take over for Ewers, even though they're trying to get him to transfer. I don't know why they want him to do that. Of course, he can do it because he want to make more money. But the situation that Arch is in, Ewers, that's it for Ewers. Ewers going to go on. He's going to go on off in the sunset. He's going to go off in the Texas lore. Even though he didn't win a championship, he'll fall into the category of never buy a beer again in the city. And he's going to go on from there. Right. But now we got the national championship game. I'm excited for it Monday night going down to Houston. Like I was saying before, they go into the hood in Houston. Have you ever been down to the NRG Stadium? Much like a lot of those stadiums, they go and find land in the cheap area, and they build on it, and they charge a lot. They charge back to the city or wherever that area is, and that's what Houston's did. It's the formula and it works, so you can't be mad at them. But I'm really looking forward to this game. There's no Heisman curse, like I said, for Penix, so there's no real pressure on him. But once again, I still think it's Michigan's game to lose. I think going in this game, if Michigan plays their game the way they should, Michigan should win this game. Michigan should win this game. What's your thoughts, sir? I see you shaking your head. What you got?
You see what color I got on, right? Purple. I'm not going with them, man. Okay, yeah, you beat Goliath, right? It's the third time is the charm, right? You're not about to seal the deal. Jim Harbaugh has never been in this situation. That us against everybody. Get out of here, dog.
That's my next point. I always said when it comes to Jim Harbaugh, he's always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Right. He got there with when he got robbed when he was with the Colts when he threw that pass in the end zone at the end of the game. They said it was incomplete. When he was with San Francisco, at the end of the game, even though they cheated and held the game up for 15 minutes because somebody cut the lights off, against his brother. They got to get them the chance to get some momentum to come back for that. And even as a player, he didn't seal the deal. He got there. He got to the Rose Bowl, but didn't win it his senior year. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know people out there that can.
If, and this is a if, like you said, if is a fifth, we all be drunk. If you win, you're going to wish you had the one. Because the NCAA, nah, whatever happens, that program is hit come next year. So it does. If you win, they have no problem with taking wins from y'all. They did it to the Fab Five. If you lose, they don't have no problem with coming with punishment again because they don't like y'all anyway. It's no bright spot on this. Whether you win or lose, you're going to still take an L. You can be the national champion.
There's going to be some punishment. There will be some punishment.
There's going to be some terrible punishment.
Because he's facing a level one. And a level one is, there's a whole lot of myriad of things that can happen when you get a level one violation. So
watch how quick them commits decommit. Because, okay, let's just say they win. Let's just say they win, right?
And you can go to the NFL.
Right. Let's just say they win, right? He's going to the NFL. Watch all them decommits commit. They're not about to go play for Sharon Moore. Right. Now you're doing the coach's search all over again. And then you know what the sad thing is? Let's say he does go back to the NFL. He bombs out. And then he tries to come back to Michigan. They're gonna welcome him with open arms.
Yeah, he'll go back. He's the favorite son. He's the prodigal son. He can come back.
Yeah, he can come back.
Okay. Miss Valerie Colbert, I'm sorry, Asamoah. Excuse me if I mess up your name. I do apologize. She says, I agree. Michigan is not able to bring it home. Do you really think they will punish Michigan? Yes. It will not be. It won't be the punishment that we probably think it would be, but something's going to happen because Jim is like Teflon Don. He tends a way to get away with a lot of stuff, but I can see something's going to happen because you play 14 games. You play 14 games, and 6 of them you sit out for one reason or another. So that right there says that something else is coming, and that not because I'm trying to be a hater, not because I'm a Spartan fan, but that's just the facts. I don't think a lot of people are calling for them giving the games back and vacating victories. I don't know if all that's gonna happen. I think they're probably gonna, the old school cut 10 recruits and you can't do blah blah blah. Something like that. A little slap on the wrist, basically. That's my thought.
Oh, a warning.
Yeah, that's a warning. I agree. All right, let's move on to the NFL. But always don't forget to click like, click share. Don't forget to get the book, Gratefulness Journey Every Day by Mr. Marcus Holmes. He's not with us today, but I'm about to put the QR code up here really quickly. Let me see if I can figure it out while I'm still talking. When you're producing and working at the same time, this is the fun stuff. I was practicing before you got here. I was trying to talk a little bit and still put it right. Bam, there it is. Get up there. Come on now. I just click the button.
I say get up there.
Get up there.
Like, click share.
There it is. There it is. Click like, click share. Get on the phone. Get your people on the line. Let them know that Felix, and Kamau are back in here for the new year. We going once a week now, so we're gonna stretch our topics just a little bit, gives us a little bit more latitude to look at things a little bit more in depth, so we don't have to really trample over things really quickly just because we need to talk about it. So that's the good part about going to one weekly show. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about doing this here, and don't forget to join the Sports Talk group. We got to remember to join the Sports Talk group. So get on up there with that. Come on, get back up there. Get back. Come on. Boop, boop. Click. What I gotta do? I gotta click that way. Hi, yes. See, okay, it's all right. It's all right. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna move on. We have all day. We're gonna move. See that I'm messing with stuff too much. We're just gonna keep rolling forward. We ain't gonna worry about it. All right. NFL. Lions are 11-5, 3-game lead over the Packers. Still a slight chance at the number 2 seed, after the Dallas fiasco. I don't know if we want to go too far into it. Deception, and perception and not paying attention, and or did he not care? The referee just not even care? Because I can tell you, being in the stadium, I'm sitting in that corner. All three of those linemen run over to him. And it really didn't dawn on me that they were trying to run some kind of trick play. But I did hear the referee says number 70 is reported in as an eligible receiver. He said 70. So the referee was consistent at what he said after the game about only 70 checking in, because that's what we actually said checked in. Even though you can see on film, they right there in front of his face and the rubbing of the chest and mouth moving. You can see it. That's one thing about technology nowadays. As big as that stadium is, you still got everything on camera. But that's neither here nor there at this point. Jerry Jones, hey, we're not gonna let these Lions win. We just gonna keep taking the forwards' money and have them run my star over there in Frisco, and that's all the forwards are good for. And that's what they go. That's Jerry. That's my Jerry Jones impersonation. You either really ready to throw it away or speak aloud. What you got? Which one you got?
Look here, man. I text you during the game for the 90th time, beginning in 2024. Is Dan Campbell a coach?
Okay, let's go back there. Let's go back. Should he have taken those 3 points on 4th and 5? Yes. That changes the whole complexion of the game. You don't have to. You might not even have to run that play at the end of the game. You go ahead and kick that field goal in the first half, make it 7-6, make it a tighter game. You got to think that your whole thinking process, how you gonna manage the game from that point is different. Okay, then you go and you don't get to play right the first time. You get it right, but the referees mess it up. Okay, then you run it again on 2nd down. To me, I'm thinking to myself, go kick this field goal, man. Go kick the field goal. Kick the field goal. Going to overtime. But I do give him credit. Sometimes you got to go get what you want. You got to take what you want, especially when you're going into Dallas. You're going into Jerry's world. And you all those screaming fans in there. I've said this before in the past. I've never saw AT&T Stadium or Jerry's World as a real advantage for the Cowboys. It's not like you going to the Raiders' house. It's not like you going to the Cleveland Browns. They cheer, but that place is for show. It's a pretty boy show. It's just for pretty boys, and it's happiness and craziness and hi, where to go? Show. It's a show. But but to answer your question, no, I would still trade Dan Campbell for 3 magic beans. Jack and the Beanstalk came here right now. They said we'll take Dan Campbell for 3 magic beans. I'm taking them 3 magic beans, and we're gonna build a beanstalk.
So since you finally because you didn't respond back to the text, so I already knew the answer. So to piggyback on that, you play dumb games and you win stupid prizes. That's why you don't have a coach. He made you mad Saturday. He's gonna make you mad come playoff time because he gambles. The reason he didn't kick the 3 is because the pride took over. Oh, okay. So the refs, you're in it with him too. Okay, I'm gonna make all y'all mad. The next play, Michael Parsons was offside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bam. There was another chance. Go and kick the field goal, dog. No, we're gonna go for it. Play dumb games, win stupid prizes. There it is. Same thing gonna happen come playoffs. Y'all gonna stay at home and you're gonna hire this guy again. And you're gonna cry next year until you get rid of him. This dude is a joke, man. He like, what's the name of that gum they had? Bazooka Joe with the comics. That's what he is. This guy's a joke, man.
Now I had to give Dan credit, Campbell. He turned things around. I had to give Campbell his credit. To his credit, they are still 11-5. Home game for the playoff. Could be number 2 seed depending on if they win and a couple losses somewhere else. I get it. And I actually got the playoff picture right here.
I'm glad, you know what? Before you go into that, I'm glad you brought that up. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. Let me tell you why. You want to advance in the playoffs. I'm gonna tell you why. Because the goal this season was to win the division. They did that. They're not doing nothing else. That's what they've been saying all year. The goal was to win the division. The goal was to win the division. You're not doing nothing else. You reached the goal. They're not trying to win a playoff game. They're not trying to advance in the playoffs. Get rid of this guy now.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. So we got San Francisco right now, the Cowboys in second place, / Eagles, Lions third, Eagles in fifth / second place, and the Rams right now. The Buccaneers are projected to win the NFC South, and you got the Packers, who's playing better than everybody except for the 49ers in the 7th spot. Don't nobody want to see the Packers right now.
Right. You could possibly end up
play them.
And remember what happened Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Right.
Yes, I agree. Don't nobody want to see them Packers right now. Packers are probably playing the best, right? Okay, the 3 top teams playing right now to this day: Ravens, Packers, 49ers, in that order. I don't think wise is kept. I don't think that 49ers really want to see the Packers right now because they're playing at the level that they want to play.
They'll run over Green Bay.
That's another game itself because then you got those 2 friends going back at each other.
What 2 friends?
Yeah, the head coaches are best friends.
Oh, Matt LaFleur and my man.
Yeah, because they've been working together on staff for the longest. They've been best friends for a long time. You don't remember them talking about that last year or 2 years ago?
Right.
How
they go out the window though, man. That go out the window once we tee it up, right?
You would hope so, because Matt LaFleur still ain't beat him. You would hope so.
Nah, you would hope so, right?
You would hope so. All right. We still Black Monday will be here soon. We're gonna see who's gonna be let go. I still say somewhere between Dable, Vrabel, Belichick. We're gonna see if Belichick leave, it'll be because he said I'm retired. They're not gonna fire him.
Is Campbell on your list?
He'll be playing in the playoffs, man. He won't be a part of Black Monday. Should he be?
Yeah, he should.
Should he be for what he's accomplished? No. If it were me and I knew I had a better coach that I can bring in to take him to the next level. If I had Jimmy Johnson coming out of retirement for 1 year, come on, Jimmy. Let me give you this $20 million right quick. And we can I'll tell Fox you can come right on back after you win me my Super Bowl. You got Salah and Rivera. Ron Rivera is pretty much done. That's pretty much a done deal. And
okay, so let me ask you this: if Ron Rivera is done, is Eric Bieniemy done too?
Eric Bieniemy will probably be. He's gonna leave. He's gonna leave Washington. Yeah.
Oh,
he'll be somewhere else. He'll be somewhere else.
You don't think he's still gonna be there?
They need to bring him back to Kansas City. Is what they need to do.
You know what though? I don't think it's so much of him coming back to Kansas City. I think it's the players. He don't let nobody can catch the ball but Kelsey. They cut my man, the dude that was offsides. They cut him. He ain't got nobody else. Right. Who else he gonna throw it to? Himself. Right.
But at the same time, you got to remember, once you get to that level, it's hard to stay on the mountaintop. So the frustrations are setting in because things aren't happening the way they used to them happening. It was always, the magic man.
You're right. You had to go through Kansas City to beat them. If they turn around and they do win it, I already like the Chiefs, whatever. I'd be for real. I'd be like, they beat all adversity. Yeah. For real. And
they are still a good enough team to possibly win it. But the Ravens is playing excellent right now. And you got to go through the Ravens. You got to go up there in the cold. It's cold in Kansas City, don't get me wrong. But it's a different kind of cold up there in Baltimore. Right. You got that lake effect. You got the ocean effect.
And the thing with that, I want to believe Lamar now. I really do. But that layoff, with them they're not gonna have to play that first round. That do something to you, man. I don't know what it do, but it do something to you. And then I just think they're gonna get upset. Like the Cleveland Browns can beat them, and people laugh
because both teams are outdoor teams. Both teams are cold weather teams, and you
Cleveland can beat them, man.
Yeah, they can because Cleveland, their defense is just as good, maybe just a little under where the Ravens are. But they're good as well.
The only reason why I don't really push Cleveland up there. It's because if Deshaun was back there, Cleveland can beat them. I still believe Cleveland can beat them with Joe Choco. I mean, Fluco or Flacco or whatever. I still believe it because this dude, he won the Super Bowl.
That's the real Sleepy Joe.
Right.
He on the sidelines like this.
He won the Super Bowl with him, right? Right.
No, so did you see him last week on the sideline? Have a sleep. You see that?
Yeah.
Like, dang, Joe, wake up.
Yo, man, Joe, like, man, look, I got a ring. I ain't playing. What am I playing for? I got a ring. But
he's playing for immortalization. He want to be immortalized. He out there balling. He out there getting hit in the face, still throwing the ball down the field. Go ahead, Joe. I say go ahead. Great hair sticking out the side of the ear.
Right.
Go ahead, Joe. But really quickly, we want to talk about the Pro Bowl next week. The selections came out this week. They haven't really talked about a lot, which is kind of surprising. I don't know why they're downplaying it because last year's Pro Bowl was one of the best Pro Bowls in a long time. Even the score was 70-50. They was playing flag football, so they were having fun. That's the bottom line. At the end of the day, those guys had a lot of fun. We want to jump into our preseason predictions. We wanted to pull out the receipts and see how wrong or how right we were at the beginning of the season, because we can pretty much predict where everybody's going to be. In the beginning of the season, we said that we both said the Philadelphia Eagles was going to be the champions in the East, and Commanders are going to be last. We both said that, and that's pretty much close. Commanders are definitely in last right now. The Giants are right there ahead of them. Cowboys and Eagles are 1 and 2, depending on what happened tomorrow. The Eagles actually have the tiebreaker for whatever reason, and they'll be the 2 seed if they do what they're supposed to do. In the South, we both said the Saints, and both of us said. I said Tampa Bay 3. You said Tampa Bay 4. Tampa Bay looked like they about to win that joker. We thought the Saints was going to take it, but didn't happen. You said Saints, Carolina, Atlanta, Tampa. I said Saints, Falcons, Buccaneers, Panthers, and I got the Panthers right. That was probably the toughest one for us to predict correctly. And in the West, we both said San Francisco. That was easy. Then we both said San Francisco. We both said Arizona last. Arizona's last. San Francisco's first. And right now, the Rams are in. The Seahawks could make it. They got an infinitesimal rate of making it. So here come the North. Here go. This is where we messed this one up kind of bad. We got the Packers. Okay, you said Vikings, Packers, Bears, Lions. I said Packers. No, you said Vikings. I said Packers, Bears, and the Lions in Minnesota would share third spot. They would be even at third. So but with the Lions taking it. So kudos to them. We were wrong. Please forgive us. And then we got, right now, the Packers are probably going to be in second place with the Vikings third, the Bears fourth. But look like Bears and Vikings, I think, are going to be tied at the end of the season in terms of record. If what's the name stays healthy, the quarterback of the Vikings, I think they do a little bit better. When you play four quarterbacks in 1 year, that's not an easy thing to overcome. Right. All righty, so let's see here. In AFC, we talked about, okay, you said Jets, Aaron Rodgers, Bills, Patriots, Dolphins. Woo, look at that. I said Jets, Bills, Dolphins, Patriots. Who coming out of there? The Dolphins. You had them at 4, I had them at 3. Dolphins going to come out of there, and I don't think anybody else is coming behind them. Oh, the Bills. I'm sorry, Bills are number 2. Bills are playing really good football right now. So they will probably be the 4th best team right now as they're playing right now. All right, and next we had you said for the North, Bengals, Ravens, Browns, Steelers. I said Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, Browns. And almost everybody, like we said, that was the toughest league in the conference, in the whole NFL. And they still, to this right now, all 4 of them still have a chance to make the playoffs going to this last week. Ravens are already in. the Browns are in. Steelers still have a chance, and the Bengals still have a chance. Depends on what it is. Steelers once again, they're 9-7. They won't have, and once again, they won't have another losing season. And we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. Stupid sports news. In the South, we had Jaguars. We both said Jaguars. We both had the same thing for the South. Jaguars, Titans, Texans, Colts. Jaguars are if they win, but they can play themselves out. If they don't win tomorrow, they can be out. Texans still have a slight chance. Colts are out, and the Titans still have a slight chance. So that was pretty good. That was probably our best conference that we picked.
Right.
And in the West, we got Chiefs. You said Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos. And then I said Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders. Let me make sure I got yours right. Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos, and me, Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders. Chiefs gonna be there. They may be a wild card, but they gonna be there. Raiders they ran at it for a minute. Broncos made a run at it for a minute. Even if they lost last week, but that's another fiasco. We're gonna talk about that one. The Stupid Sports News. And the Chargers have essentially don't have a coach right now. So, there it is. And in college championship, you said Georgia was gonna win it, and I said LSU. LSU was out after the first week. And Georgia, and I've been to talk about that earlier. Should Georgia really have made it? Now, look, going back, we know now. So they put Georgia in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I still think it should have been Michigan, Washington, Florida State, Georgia. To me, that's what it should have been. That's how it really should have been. But according to how the games have been played, it looks like the committee got it right because we had two good semifinal games. But we're gonna have hopefully an even better championship game. It's gonna be kind of wide open. All right, now after the Florida State Georgia game, we move into college football. After the Florida State Georgia game, in the speech by the coach at the end, should players be able to opt out of the games? What you think?
I mean, the ultimate goal is to play professional, right? Mm-hmm. So that bowl game could be your last bowl game, right? Because injury is part of the game, right? So I feel if you're going to opt out, don't be a distraction to the team. Meaning, if you go back and you look at USC, my man didn't play. He already opted for the draft. Why are you there? Why are you at the bowl game?
Well, don't forget the Pitt quarterback was at his bowl game against Michigan State 2 years ago. He was up in the stands. He was in the box. Was Caleb on the sideline?
Caleb was on the sideline. So that's what I'm saying. Why? What are you doing? It's not about you, man. That right there was just totally got on my nerves. And then they kept putting the camera on him. Is he going in the game? Or, is he suited up? Like, go sit down, blood. That's gonna be a bus. You're gonna see for real. That's a bus. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought last season, if you got to strike while you high, go. You win your not championship. Excuse me. They gave you the Heisman. Go to the league. At the beginning of the season, he's talking about anybody draft me, you got to give me a percentage of the team. What a Raj! Give me the Raj laugh. Yeah, right. Okay, we're gonna give you a percentage of the team. Yeah, that's really gonna happen. We're gonna give you. At this point, he gonna barely get a Dr. Pepper that he get on those Heisman commercials the way he played going down the stretch. He might be Mr. Irrelevant, but I don't know if he's gonna have the same effect that Brock Purdy did. I'm not saying he's not a good player. I'm just saying when you get in a certain window, you got to take advantage of that.
Correct.
He came back and played relatively average compared to what he did last year or the previous season for this season. Correct. But hey, just that I'm worried. I'm also worried about the kid at LSU. Is he a good quarterback? Yes. Is he going to be a good pro translate? I don't know. I really don't know.
Jaden
I don't know.
Daniels.
Yes.
Well, see that. I mean, that goes to show you right there. The Heisman was rigged, right? There you go.
Penix should have won the Heisman. To me, I'll say that this year, next year, he played in better games. He played against better competition, and he showed his worth. He showed his worth every time. But hey, we had that conversation already. I don't want to go back on it. Now, I think that players should not be able to opt out of the games. I think that's still an obligation to your team. You are turning it. I'm not saying you're turning your back on your team. I understand that you may have high draft value that you don't want to hurt yourself. I get that 100%. I'm for that. I understand. But when you got half your team leaving because not only they go into the draft, but
Right.
because they go into the portal,
Right.
that's trouble. I think I got a couple ideas. I think this should be tied to the NIL. You don't get this money unless you finish your season. And finishing the season means if we go to a bowl, you got to play, my man. You got to put it with the money. Because at this point, it's a contract. These NILs are contracts.
Correct.
Put it in the NIL to get all of your money, to get any of the money. Don't get to them to the end of the season. You got to play in the bowl game. Also, you got to move the date back for National Signing Day and also for opening up the portal. That was December 4th, if I'm correct. I think they should move it back to January, the first Monday after the National Championship game. To make that the same day for the National Signing Day and also make it the same day for open up the portal. So you're not losing anything from not getting your high school recruits as well as not getting people in the portal. Okay, so your team didn't make it to a bowl game. You know you want to go in the portal, you can make your announcement. That's cool. But if your team is playing in the bowl game, finish your obligation is all I'm saying.
So you would say, so in the case of McCord, the quarterback for Ohio State, you saying, okay, you want to transfer and go to Syracuse, or you want to transfer from Ohio State, but you're going to play in this bowl game before you leave. That's what you're saying.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, agreed.
Nothing. He could have won that ball game and balled out.
Because
I do need to stay.
Because the point would be if you would have beat Michigan, you would have been in the playoffs. So you still would have transferred? No. Because you would have been undefeated. Right. Okay, that's a good point. Right.
Let's see. Valerie says a lot of bowls are paid, directly paid to players. They do get paid. There's a stipend that each kid gets, and they also get like packages, like whoever sponsors the game. They get packages from like they always talk about how Best Buy gives like great packages to the kids that go to the bowls. They get clothes. They get like Michigan got the Nike stuff, and I thought it was some Gucci backpacks or something like that they got, or was it just specialty Nike stuff? They get there is a payment that they get, but it's not like the NIL. And we also want to say good morning to my senior peers. Thank you for joining us. And say, hey guys, I'm trying to figure out that coming from the Facebook. Thank you very much. And if you're out there, if you're watching us, drop a hello. Say hey. Let us know you're here. So if you don't want to comment on the topic, give us a thumbs up so we know you, so we can at least acknowledge you. So we want to make sure we let you know that hey, we are here, that you are here, and we want to thank you for your presence. Because without you, there is no us, and we really do appreciate that. So keep coming back and tell your friends about us because we got something special we got here. We get special. We picking up the pace weekly. We're gonna have a lot of fun, and we're gonna keep doing it. Speaking of which, don't forget to click like, click share, get on the phone, get on, text somebody, let them know. Hey, they're on YouTube right now. They're on Twitch. They're on X, formerly known as Twitter. They own a LinkedIn, and of course, we're right here on Facebook. You can be cleaning up your house. You can put YouTube TV on, and you got us in the background. And you can rewind. What did he say? You can rewind it and see what we said. And we right here. We are here for you. and make sure you always participate in the polls and stuff that we have. Speaking of which, we're going to have another. You pick them for Monday night's game. We're going to talk a little bit more about that at the end. But we're going to slide right to the NBA. Of course, what do we always talk about at first? Our Detroit Pistons, who are now 3-32. They won the game just into the new year, then promptly lost the next three. But those three were actually pretty. Well, the next one after that wasn't close, but the next two were close. They're playing better. They just the results in the W column isn't showing. They actually didn't play really that bad in a lot of those losses leading up to as they were in the street. They just weren't turning over the W. You look at a lot of scores, they were 10 points or less. There was a few that were stretched out. Don't get me wrong. They were like the Philly game, or some of them when they was losing by 30. They were still close, but no cigar in a lot of those games. Mr. Greg Brown, how you doing, sir? Yeah, I'm a Pistons fan. He said those are your Pistons. Yeah, I'm a Pistons fan, especially since they're back downtown. I remember them down at Cobo when I was a kid, and the band and all that playing in the stands and stuff. I'm glad to have them back in the city. But that was the plan from the beginning when the guy from the Pistons got hired by the Red Wings and all that. So yeah, that was the plan. That was definitely. But that's what they're supposed to do. All right. Let's see here. Will they earn the worst record in league history? What's your thoughts on that, sir?
Gonna be hard. I mean, they can, right? Because what the trade deadline is what, a week or what? No, the end of next week or next month or whatever. So it all depends on what they do at trade deadline. They might just tank and trade everybody, because you got to figure after this year, your main focus is gonna be you're gonna have to sell Cade on why you need to come back. Which I'm not a fan anyway. He can go now, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, how you know that was what I'm about? That was the next thing. Is Cade gonna return next season? Will he pull a Grant Hill? And do you still consider Cade a bust?
Absolutely.
Even though he averaging about 28 right now.
And y'all getting blew out by 30. Well, you still lose by 2. Man, I don't care. I don't care if he score 105. And man, he trash, man. I'm good.
I'm gonna tell you,
dog.
I remember when he got drafted. I said the kid can play, but he doesn't come from a winning pedigree. I said that when they drafted him.
He can play.
He can ball. The boy can ball. He can get to the cup. He can get a shot off. He can get his teammates a good shot, but he doesn't come from a winning pedigree. He came from Oklahoma State. What did they do in the tournament that year? I think they lost in the second game, not the second round, which is the next weekend. I think they lost the second game. But before that, what were they the year before that? He had a hot year.
I mean, the only person that made their program irrelevant basketball-wise would have been Big Country, Bryant Reeves. But before Brian, not being honest, Brian Reeves, Shaq said this himself. He was like,
against Brian Reeves.
Brian Reeves, Big Country, got drafted. They used to be the Vancouver Grizzlies. They now the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yep.
Brian Reeves, Shaquille O'Neal said it himself. My man had that footwork.
Yep. I hate betting against Big Country. He would say that all the time.
Big Country. He had that before Big Country, Byron Houston. Okay. I can take you back, man. I was in college when they was in college.
Right.
Byron Houston. I was like, man, big. I was like, you know what? I remember one time they did a story about him. They had to fly, and Eddie Sutton was the coach. And he was like, well, how do you keep your ears from popping while you're on the plane? And they told Brian Reeves to chew some bubble gum. He took the bubble gum, put the bubble gum in his ears. So that right there, I knew he not learning nothing.
I remember that. He said, use some bubble gum. Bubble gum, okay. Yeah, that's what I tell people. I work in the airline industry. When I was on the phone, I would tell parents, you got a young child, get them some Cheerios when they get on the plane, so they get they'll chew and get the bubbles out the air. Yeah. That was, I remember that. That was pretty funny. But think about it. That leads to right with what I'm saying. How long ago was Big Country there? So between Big Country,
94.
yeah, okay, 94. Between 94 and 2001, 2002, when he had his breakout, 2001 when he had his breakout year and got drafted, that's not a lot of winning at Oklahoma State. And when he was at Oklahoma State, they won the conference that year, but they didn't do anything in NCAA. Oklahoma State.
No.
They didn't. So what? Yeah, okay, you're right. They did not. They were like second or third.
Won it.
But
No. Jayhawks won it.
Jayhawks won it. But it's just like what I'm saying.
And behind the Jayhawks was Baylor. Behind the Jayhawks was Baylor.
Yep.
Because that was the year Baylor popped Gonzaga.
Yep.
Right.
See? They lost in the first year and won the next year.
I got you.
So that's exactly my point. It's not a winning pedigree. Can he play? Yes.
But I mean, who think about it? Okay, come on, let's be real. Would you even take the visit down there? No. Okay. There you go.
Okay, as an 18-year-old, no. Knowing what I know now, yes. Because why? Because it's an opportunity. Because I'm old enough. I'm now as an 18-year-old kid. Oh no, I'm not going to Oklahoma State. Ain't nothing out there. Ain't nothing but some tumbleweeds. That's how kids think. But if I'm thinking as an adult, yeah, I'm gonna go because it's an opportunity. It's free school. Now, yes. But as a kid, it's gonna be hard pressed to convince a kid, no matter how good he is, to go to Oklahoma State, unless he's from the state of Oklahoma, unless he grew up being an Oklahoma State fan in that area.
Let me ask you this now, since you brought that up. Why Duke couldn't land Chris Webber there?
I know there's a backstory to this. I don't remember what it was, but there's a backstory to that. He wanted to go to State. Webber wanted to go to State.
Okay. Then why didn't okay. I'm glad you brought that. I told you I'm over. Okay, here we go. Do you know the story behind that the Larry Brown in Kansas? Do you know what the recruiting class he had?
No.
My freshman year at Kansas was 94, the spring of 94. That's when I went I attended the University of Kansas. University of Kansas went on probation from Larry Brown. Do you know who Larry Brown was about to bring before they went on probation? You know who their recruiting class was? Grant Hill, Jason Kidd. I can't remember who they had. He wasn't even going to Duke. Grant Hill wasn't going to Duke. Grant Hill was going to Kansas, but they got put on probation, so he went to Duke. Jason Kidd wasn't going to Cal. He was going to Kansas. They got put on probation. So my point is, why he didn't? Why? Okay, you couldn't get Jalen. You couldn't get Chris. Why you didn't go get Jalen?
I don't think Jalen really wanted to leave the state of Michigan.
You telling me if Coach K would have came to Southwestern, he wouldn't have took the trip down there to North Carolina?
I'm not saying he wouldn't. But I don't think, okay. Now you got to remember. Hold on. Now you got to remember, what type of kid does Coach K recruit? For the controversy that he had coming out of Southwestern, Coach K was not going to put up with that. I'm not saying Jalen Rose was a bad person. He'll tell you himself, as a youngster, I did some dumb stuff. Coach K ain't taking that. He would.
So you tell me all the Duke kids didn't get in trouble?
That's
or you just didn't hear about it?
How many kids out of the state of Michigan has he taken? One. And what happened to that kid? He went back to Michigan State and won the national championship. The kid that came out of Southfield.
No.
I'm sorry.
He took Shane Battier.
My bad.
Okay. Mike Chappelle was trash. Mike Chappelle wasn't good. Mike Chappelle was trash. Come on. If we're going to do this argument, you got to bring me something to the tech. Mike Chappelle was garbage.
But I'm not saying my point is a certain type of player that Krzyzewski's going to recruit.
Right. And my point is he went to Duke and didn't even play. You see, they had Chris Burgess, Ricky Price, Trajan Langdon, William Avery. He wasn't even getting no burn. That's why he came.
That's why he left. But who got the championship?
So if you okay, so my point is, if you was all world, you would have broke the rotation. Mike Chappelle was trash. You know who the man was in South? You know who the man was in Southfield that year? Lydell Shepard. He played at Southfield High. Mike Chappelle played at Southfield Laker. Mike Chappelle was trash. And the reason I say that, he tried to cut in front of me at a McDonald's one time in Southfield.
I was waiting on the real story. I was waiting
Mike
on the real
Chappelle.
story. That's the real story.
That's the real story. He tried. I said, hey, I was standing here. I'm next. I don't care who he is. I know he's Mike Chappelle. And I, man, you're going to wait in the back just like I. That's why I don't like Mike Chappelle. I tried to cut in front of me in a McDonald's one time. Man, get out of here, dog.
Okay, that was a trash move, but Mike Chappelle was not a trash player.
He wasn't a good player neither.
Hey,
damn.
He hit those threes down the stretch for state for them to win the championship. You got to be good enough to do that.
No, he was not. No, he wasn't. You know what his starting five was that year?
He was like a six man.
No, he wasn't. No, he was not.
I said Chappelle was like he was a 6-man role.
No, he was
Chappelle
not.
didn't start on the national championship team. I know that.
He wasn't a 6-man neither. He was like the 8th man. They starting five was Charlie Bell, Mateen Cleaves, Andre Hudson, Jason Richardson, and what's his name? Your boy. The boy, no, it was Mateen Cleaves, Charlie Bell.
Mm-hmm.
It was Andre Hudson.
Mo Pete.
It was who?
Mo Pete,
and my man. Behind that was AJ Granger. Behind that was who?
Aloysius.
No, Aloysius wasn't getting no run. That was like the 9th.
That's what I'm saying. He was in the rotation off the bench is what I'm saying.
At the end of the bench, when Southfield Lathrop played they senior years, you play back to back. You go to Southfield and you go to Southfield Lathrop. When you couldn't even get in at Southfield, he gave Mike Chappelle the business. But because Chappelle went to Lathrop, he got all the accolades. My man, Lydell Shepard went to Southfield. Southfield was like the ghetto part of Southfield Lathrop. Mike Chappelle is man. He cut in front of me at that McDonald's, man. That's why he's trying. No, I'm not gonna look. If you got talent, I'm gonna give you problems. Like, yeah, Lydell Shepard gave him that business.
I'm not saying he
gave
did.
Him that business.
I didn't see it. I was away at school at that time, but Mike Chappelle was an integral part of them winning that championship. Without a lot of those buckets that he made down the stretch, they wouldn't have won that game. That's all I'm saying. All right, we got to move forward. We running a little bit over time, but it's okay. We're gonna probably go over a little bit. We're gonna pause men's college basketball until next week, because that way we can move college football into a big diminish that role and bring men's college basketball to a larger role. Of course, we will not talk about women's sports. We got to talk about them right now. Kayla Clark is out there playing. She out there killing them. She hit the dagger.
I knew it.
But she chest.
I just knew. I was like, I hope he go around that. I really do, man. I'm good.
I can't talk about that without talking about South Carolina calling out the referees for that game and saying how the play before that should have never had the ball. But my thing is, coach, shh. You got to coach your team. Shh.
I can't do it, man. I can't do it. Y'all putting her like she the best thing since sliced bread. No, she's not. Because when it came to the kit and caboodle, who set that up? Angel Reese. You can't see me. Then it's okay. Pity the poor working girl. Beat it. That's why I'm like, beat it. When you was on the main stage with LSU, Angel Reese handed it to you. You couldn't do nothing. Mm-hmm. Then y'all was gonna the sad thing about it, y'all was gonna reward the loss and send them to go meet the president. Where they do that at?
Well,
where they do that at?
It's one word: privilege. That's all I can say.
Bush.
Privilege. But, the biggest sports news in women's college sports is Grambling State winning by 141 points, 159 to 18 against the College of Bible Studies. They pressed for 3 quarters. How do you press for 3 quarters up 50, 60, 70 points? You don't do that.
You sending a message, and I get it. You sending a message. But you know who I fought for that? I fought the what's it? Because back when we were playing, it was just a running clock. That game should have never got to that number. That number should. That's their fault. The game. That means you were stopping the clock. The clock should have just kept running, unless you called a timeout. But other than that, they had to been stopping the clock because there's no way in HELL hockey sticks the score should have got to that. If the game was, if the clock was constantly running, we call that when I was playing, we call that a mercy rule.
Mercy rule.
The clock just constantly ran.
I have to check on that. I don't think they have a mercy rule in college basketball.
That's their fault. That's what I'm saying. The game should never got to that. But at the same token, I don't understand this, and I probably never will. I probably will die not ever understanding it. Do you know the simplest way to beat a 2-1-2 press? You can't press the middle of the court.
Right.
Why would you throw to me? Stop going to the corner.
Never don't go to the side. It's always middle, side, opposite. Side, middle, opposite. And you'll break every time. But if you look at those players, though, look at them. Did you see any of the highlights?
I wish I could have been present because I would have been like, take the ball out, turn around, hold the ball and see what you got.
Mm-hmm.
Send the center to the middle of the court, throw the ball, spread the wings. You got a fast 3-on-1 break every time.
But you got to look at the. Now, did you see any of the highlights of that? Did you see the players? The difference in the players. The College of Bible Studies is a little small Christian school, and they play in a small league. In that league, they all about the same talent-wise. In the South, there's a bunch of little Christian leagues, college leagues. Okay. And they're more, it's the same way with volleyball. And they all kind of looked about the same because some of my former players are playing those leagues. And I get to see them play in the South, and that's just what they are. So Grambling State is technically a D1 program. So they're going to have D1 athletes, even though they're lower level D1 athletes. They're D1 athletes. That was almost basically the varsity versus the 8th grade. Basically. Correct. In terms of talent.
Correct.
So you're going to have that. But as a coach, give me a half. I'm gonna work. We're gonna go at it for a half, and then I'm gonna call off the dogs. Not 3 quarters. They was already up 45 in the first.
It was up 45 like in the first, the second half, the second quarter.
You got to bring it back. At the end of the day, I understand. We gonna no mercy, blah blah blah. But at some point, your humanness has to step in and say, I can't do this because it's kids. Ain't nobody your kids may be getting a little bit of NIL money. They may be getting some Burger King sponsorship down the street, but the Bible kids, they're not even getting a scholarship.
Correct.
They get halfway decent financial aid. They're not even on scholarship. So to do those girls like that to me was not right. That's all I'm saying.
Correct. Absolutely.
It wasn't entertaining for those who were there to watch. Depends on what your perspective.
Probably. Absolutely. It probably was. But yeah, you don't do that.
You don't do that.
But I blame the clock management. I blame the game official. It's a running clock. Anybody knows that.
Yeah, I don't even know if they have a running clock. I have no idea. I'm trying to figure out. We're trying to get to the next part. Let's see. Okay, I'm pushing buttons here. Okay, yeah, we still here. We ain't going nowhere now. I'm trying to find. Because we're trying to get out. Pause for a cause. I'm trying to talk and produce at the same time. All right, where we at? Am I there? Do I see it? Where we at? Let's come on. Almost there. We almost. Give me just a second. I'm sorry, y'all. There it is. We're gonna take a pause for the cause. We set up a stupid sports news. All right. Got to start with Russell Wilson. They did your boy Russell wrong, and I credit Russell for this. He kept his mouth shut until he couldn't keep his mouth shut no more. Normally, Russ always take the high road. Hey, it's gonna be okay. Put it in the Lord's hands. But Russell's like, yep. They tried to take my money. They told me they was gonna bitch me if I don't get his money back. If I don't change my contract, yep, that's what's gonna happen. You know, because at some point you got to stick up for yourself. And it was already awkward for the previous 8 weeks. He's showing up to practice every day. You think he can chewed out like that in the Lions game? He can chew like that every day in practice. So he got to, Russell was like, okay, hey, I've had enough. Forget this. This is some malarkey, and I'm not taking it anymore.
Right. Malarkey. Right.
What are your thoughts, sir? What are your thoughts?
I mean, they want their money back on a bum return investment. It's like you buy a Mustang, you think you got a 5.0, and somebody come and tell you, no, it's a 2.8. But they sold you, you thought you got you a 5.0. That's what they have.
With a Hyundai engine, that's what he got.
Man, that's what they got. And John sitting up at the end of the day, John Elway sitting up there like, wow, Pete was telling us that he was trash, but we didn't want to believe him. You got to go, dog.
Elway was out. Elway didn't make Elway. They briefly took Elway out of the before that. But at the end of the day, you had to pay Russell what he was worth for what he'd already done, not for what he was going to do. We talk about this all the time. It's not what you were; it's what you can negotiate. They negotiated that contract. They paid him, and they were floundering. And Russell's playing halfway decent this season. He really was. But it seemed like everything that happened was Russ's fault. Hey, you lost 70. It's Russ's fault.
Absolutely.
We lost this game. It's Russ's fault. You couldn't do that. At some point, you got a head coach over there. The fish rod from the head down. That's what it is. Are they going to say anything to Sean Payton about this? No. He's supposed to be the savior. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but the way he handled that was way, very, very, so much unprofessional and unnecessary. All right, next we got Seth McLaughlin, the center for the Crimson Tide, is now leaving the program. He at that point, to me, he'd been messing them snaps up all season long. This ain't the beginning. It's not the first time he messed them snaps up. You either change go on the center or something, or put next man up.
Right.
I understand that, that he was still your best, but coach to your strengths. So I feel bad for that kid because, of course, they going after him. They say, they trolling him every which way, but left, right, up and down, and he's leaving the program. Is there going to be another guy that's going to come in there and do well? Yeah. Alabama has that levity, but does it come with the territory? Yes. I still feel bad for the kid. What are your thoughts, sir?
I mean, get out of Tuscaloosa. That's why, because then it's the Russell Wilson story all over again, right? Yeah. I mean, he messed up the snaps. Okay, it's over with. But I don't want to be nowhere where I want to be. I'm not wanted. So let me go and go somewhere.
Not tolerated.
Right.
All right. Next, we got FAMU head coach. He's going to. They just won the HBCU championship. They had a nice, huge, beautiful party. That green and orange looking nice all over the TV. The confetti all over the floor. And he is leaving to be an assistant at the University of Duke.
The University of who?
At Duke. He's leaving to go to Duke as the assistant coach. He's not even going to be the head coach. He's going to be assistant coach. So that says in a lot of ways, one, fam can't afford to pay their coaches. Two, he has high aspirations. So he figures if I'm going to be a head coach on the D1 level, D1A, I need to go and make this move now, strike while the iron is hot, like Caleb should have did. Right. Now, my question is, who's the next coach for fam? I got a name for you. Mike Hart.
Mike Hart, that used to be the running back at Michigan?
Yes.
Man, end the show, man. Get out of here. What? End the show, man.
I'm serious. Even though it sounds like I'm joking, I think that would be a good career move for him, honestly.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. His career was trash in the NFL. So, look, stop giving jobs to people just because they played. That doesn't. You're about to see it you're about to see it tomorrow, and it transpires the following week. Dan Campbell, stop giving jobs to people who are not deserving of these jobs. Please listen to me. Please, please. Okay, yes, they have catchy little slogans and all. We're gonna bite your kneecaps and all. When the sizzle is over and you have nothing to look at, you're gonna start again from ground zero. Please stop. Please. I can come up with catchy phrases all day long. At the end of the day, you know what I am? A factory auto worker. Yeah. I can write slogans for Chrysler, Stellantis, GM, Ford all day long. At the end of the day, I'm still a line worker. Stop, please.
You're more than that. You are more than just a line worker. You are a wonderful, great human being. Don't sell yourself short, sir.
See, you could be a coach too with that bull you just said out your mouth.
Gotta motivate. Next we got David Tepper, the owner of the Carolina Panthers, threw a drink on the fan because the fan was talking trash to him about his team, about how terrible he was. He was fined $300,000. A lot of the owners in the league are upset because they say that for stuff smaller than that, they had more things sanctioned against them. What are your thoughts?
David Tepper had too many drinks. That's all it is. So he took his frustration out and threw it on the fan. They do it all day, every day. He just got caught. Like Al Bundy says, it's only cheating if you get caught. He got caught. You had to pay a $300,000 fine. That's if the fan don't file a lawsuit. We ain't heard about that yet neither.
I'm pretty sure he's been handsomely taken care of.
Absolutely. Let's settle out of court. Man,
yeah.
What is $300,000 to David Tepper?
$5.
Right. I blow that into casino and laugh. Right. So I mean, come on, man. Nah.
All right. Next we got Travis Kelce calling the media dumb over the media insinuating that Mike Tomlin should be fired from the Steelers. I would have to. I wouldn't call him dumb, but I will say that's not a really bright idea. Mike Tomlin has been a mainstay with the Steelers. They have stability. He's won the Super Bowl, and he's been in the playoff hunt every year. How many teams will take that? Every team in the league.
I'm not a Mike Tomlin fan, so
I'm not saying I'm not a fan of everything.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I've never been a fan. I just something about him. Like literally, when he comes on to do the post game, I literally turn the channel. Like remember the one year they punted in Pittsburgh, and the dude from the Ravens was running, and he stood on the field. Mm-hmm. I wish my man would have ran him over, because I know I would have. I was
about to mention that. To me, I was about to say that's my favorite Mike Tomlin play. He knew what he was doing. He was on all the smoke explaining that he was watching it from the screen, and he's like, "Oh no, he behind me." Hey, you a coach? You gotta do your team
down. I literally would have put my head down and closed my eyes and put everything that was in me, and I would have tried to run him over. I really would have. I just don't like him.
I'll agree with Travis in saying that leave Mike alone. Mike has earned to be where he is. And
here you is talking about leave Mike alone, but you got old girl. They show her more than they show Travis Kelce. Oh, did you see the game last week? They showed her more than they showed Travis Kelce. Like, you're only irrelevant. Okay, yeah, you're a Swiftie, whatever. It's like when J-Lo was when J-Lo was dating Puffy. Nobody knew who you were, chick. You were a backup dancer in Living Color. Stop it. You're only relevant because you're dating Travis Kelce. Go sit down. Shouldn't you be in the studio making some more records? Go sit down somewhere. You like Bobby Brown when he got kicked out of New Edition. Go sit down somewhere, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Those Swifties are crazy, and I do agree with you. We should have put this in Super Sports News because how much TV time she get at the games because of that. Am I a Taylor Swift fan? Not now. I was a fan of hers when she first came out. She was country. She was new and exciting and fresh. So that held with country, and then all of a sudden you look up, she just pop. And hey, so there it is.
You know what my best moment about her is? They was at the I think it was the VMAs, the Video Music Awards. And when Kanye came up and said, "Yeah, you might have had a good," that's my best moment. Because you see the look on her face. She's like, Beyonce had a better video than you, and then walked off. That's my best moment.
The best part was Beyonce like, Kanye, what the hell is wrong with you? Her face like.
But that's my best. That's my best. I love that part. Because he just left her there looking dumb. It was nothing she could say.
Yeah. We're gonna jump in these comments real quick. I'm gonna go back just a little bit. We got let me find it. There we go. That remote. All right, let's see here. Greg Brown is giving us a lot of good stuff. Talking about OSU, how K was there for a year, and he said yes to Felix. He said I'm high. I don't know why I'm high. I stopped doing that a long time ago. She said, Valerie says that the Diamonds of Ground team was established at the half. And he said, Taylor Swift, Greg again. Dude, Taylor Swift is way bigger than Kelsey. That's very true. And Taylor does not need Kelsey. That's also very correct from Valerie. I would agree that Kelsey needs Taylor more than Taylor needs Kelsey. Because at the end of the day, Taylor still got the Swifties who going to buy her album, who going to go to the movies, who going to dress in the colors like she asked them to do, like the Hive do. Well, I don't want to say anything bad about the Swifties or bad about the Hive, because that girl that's on that movie Swarm, she's still out there killing people on behalf of Beyonce, and I don't need her trying to come to my house. So Beyonce, great. Swifties, great. Last but not least, in Stupid Sports News, we got McCarthy running his mouth, talking about the cheating scandal at the press conference the other day. I'm thinking, ain't nobody in the back going, giving them the Sparky Anderson, the left hand, the right hand, cut it out. He's talking about, well, Ohio State was cheating first, so we had to catch up. And 80% of the people out there cheating, but we cheated better. But it was within the rule. Don't even touch that subject, man. I did the Rasheed Wallace. Both teams played hard, and both teams will play hard on Monday. You're gonna see a good game. Well, tell us about the cheating scandal. Both teams gonna play real good on Monday. Don't even touch the subject, man. What are you doing?
They don't teach you that at the University of Misdemeanors. They don't teach you that. They don't teach you that.
Now they say learn to keep.
Look at the classes they take. But
I thought about
sandwich making 212, phone etiquette 850, how to sign an NFL contract 130.
But I thought about this. What if he was coached to say it though? I'm thinking myself, he out there running his mouth. But what if they sent him to say that as a cover, knowing that they got sanctions coming? What if you never know. I don't I don't know, maybe he didn't go rogue.
How to make a pizza in 30 minutes, 12:40, advanced pizza making. Hey, Schembeckler Hall. Hey.
That's right, Domino's did start in Ann Arbor. All right, as we come down to the close, next week we are back on January 13th. And quickly, we got to make sure we acknowledge the Red Wings, who are 19-16-4. They have 42 points. They are 10 points behind the Bruins. Let's get to our predictions. Tomorrow, Vikings at the Lions. Who you got, sir?
Vikings, 17-10.
Okay. I'm actually going to go with the Lions, 27-13. 27-13. Big one on Monday. University of Michigan versus University of Washington. Who you got?
Washington, 31-27.
I'm going to go with U of M, 28-13. Even though the score's probably going to be a lot higher than that. But don't forget the fact that Harbaugh, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. I'm going to go out on a limb and predict that he's going to get that monkey off his back like Steve did for the 49ers. And the game's probably going to be much higher than 28-13. That game is setting up for a shootout. It really is. And congratulations to Shannon Curtis. He won our last You Pick 'em. He got pretty close with 21-17 Dallas. And I'm going to put up another one for the college football playoffs within the hour. Let's see here. Greg Brown, of course, he said Michigan, and Valerie said she'd go with Washington. It'll be a good game. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for coming out today and commenting. If you're on any of the other platforms, leave a comment there. I'll always go back and look at them. I'll make sure I give you a thank you, and we will be back. And just thank you once again. Be safe, and it's just good to be here. Oh, and I almost forgot. For 2024, we forgot to acknowledge a couple of the holidays. Boxing Day for Canada, Junkanoo. I heard about that. I learned about that one. It's like John Canoe. It's Junkanoo down in Jamaica. And Happy New Year to everybody. Be safe, and we shall see you all in 7 days. Same back time, same back channel. Have a great one, everybody.